rebuilding. The catastrophic failure, a new start, physically, mentally, our careers, our businesses. Step back, first step, next step. The driver in me just wants to get it done tomorrow. We'll do this, do that, let's move this, where are we at with this? You build some confidence, build some self-esteem, start to feel better about yourself. The Silverback Blueprint Podcast, a show for men over 40. We focus on getting stronger, staying motivated, building discipline, creating a community, and becoming truly happy. Hey guys, and welcome to episode 9 of the Silverback Blueprint Podcast. Today I want to talk about something called protecting your thoughts. And where I'm going with that is we had an episode a few episodes ago when we did episodes. I like using the word episode. We talked about where you live and your headspace. And something that sort of came to mind when I was trolling Facebook is I'm often, curious, or I find it curious when I watch other people's comments on other people's postings and Facebooks. And it's almost like you can, get an idea about the personality of the person that's leaving a comment. 9 times out of 10 or 99 times out of 100, I always try to leave something positive about someone's post, especially when they're posting something about, hey, look, I did this, or here's an achievement, or here's what I saw, here's my kid, they're beautiful. Even if they're not, you got to say they are, you know what I mean? Like, I think that's important that, for me, that we're always pushing out a positive message. If something negative's out there and they put a negative message out about an issue that's happening, I might comment about the issue itself, but, it's like, your buddy gets, or you yourself, you get something new and you're really happy with it. And then you get that one buddy that just finds a flaw with it, right? And the other 9 guys you talked about, or 9 people you shared it with, are all happy for you and they're excited for you and it's fantastic. But you always get that one fucking douchebag that's going to say something, oh yeah, but my friend has a bigger one or a better one or whatever, right? It's just that one little thing, that little twist of the knife that, just brings you down. And then for us as humans, we're going to forget about those 9 positive things and we're going to dwell on that one negative thing or less than positive thing that happened. So, sorry. What I'm always wondering about is what's in the mind of that person that's putting out that negative thought or that negative comment. Like, what are they doing it for? Is there something that they just don't even realize they're doing it because they're just assholes, right? And people are assholes for reasons. Or are they that negative person that doesn't want to see anyone else be happy? And, those are people who are out there. Or is it they feel that if you're doing something positive, it somehow reflects on them not doing something as positive. So they feel they have to be defensive and they'll lash out. And I think a lot of time for these people, they don't even realize they're doing it. And I think many times they realize that they're doing it as well. So I think sometimes that can be used as an excuse. So when I talk about protecting your thoughts, it goes back to the scripts in our head, is that if we find that we're in a situation that there's always that one person that's always being that negative person or always finding a fault, you really got to look at disassociating yourself from that person. Now, we need to develop a thick skin as well, right? Listen, if you live by the sword, die by the sword. So if you're on social media, you're posting a lot of stuff, you're going to run into those people. So you have to understand that comes with the territory. But if you always have 1 or 2 people in your circle that are always doing that, and often we have a relative like that, or we have a friend like that, they're always going to find something shitty to say, you got to just basically cut that person out or cut that situation out, or don't put yourself there, or go in knowing that, hey, listen, odds are if I do this, this, and this, someone's going to say that, right? I'll tell you right now, one of my pet peeves is, I've got a beard going. I like having a beard, but every once in a while I get the nod that always makes the Santa joke, the Santa comment and stuff like that, right? Now, sometimes they're like, it's a white beard like Santa. I'm sure that happens. But at the same time, I'm like, yeah, Santa's fat, this kind of thing, right? So that throws a little script in my head. And at the end of the day, sometimes I'm like, well, fuck you, who are you to say that kind of stuff? And then naturally, I just want to, lash out and say shit, like you're just a fucking weak, skinny bitch and stuff like that, because you are. But at the end of the day, it doesn't do anything positive. But I have to be thicker skinned and sit there and say, you know what? I like having the beard. Some douchebag wants to say something about I look like Santa. Fuck him, right? If that's his whole thing, whatever, At the end of the day, you do what you want to do for yourself. And as long as you're not hurting anybody, you just got to be out there and be yourself and just, not let anyone, get in your head that way. But you're still human. You're still vulnerable. We still have feelings. And sometimes what that person said isn't what was intended, right? Or how you took it. So that happens as well too. But at the end of the day, it's really important that we sit there and we do what we can to make sure, and I don't want you to isolate yourself. I don't believe in that either. But we can decide who we hang out with. We can decide how we spend our free time, who we spend our free time with, where we spend our free time. And I think that's where you have to look at, how do you protect yourself? How do you put yourself in a situation where you are going to be accepted? Now, part of that leads into where I like to talk about your circle of 5, your inner circle, the people that you want to be around. The saying is you're the sum total of the 5 people you hang around them with the most. If you're hanging out with 4 losers, odds are you are or will become the 5th loser. So it's the same thing on the positive side, right? So if you want to, bring yourself up another level or maintain a higher level for yourself, a higher standard, then hang out with those people that are doing what you want to do or being the way you want to be, right? That's a big part of it. At the same token, though, just like you don't want to listen to every fucking moron on Facebook that says something negative about what you say. If you're hanging out with a positive group of people and that circle of 5 is strong and they do have something to say to you, 2 things are usually going to happen. If they're of a higher quality, fiber or whatever, they're not going to do it in public. They are going to send something to you, or they're going to contact you or get a hold of you or come have a conversation with you. And if they do say something that you don't necessarily like what they're saying, I would listen to that circle of 5. If it's a strong circle of 5, if it's a powerful group of people that you're hanging with and they have something that you might not like hearing, I would listen to those people. And that's a hard part too. And I've been in that situation where the people that I respect and admire say something to me about something I'm doing or about a way I'm acting or whatever, and we're going to get defensive. But then I try to remember, well, who is sending this message to me? And what is it that they're really trying to say and stuff? And we're not perfect. So at the end of the day, that circle of 5, that people I hang out with the most probably know me better than I know myself. So that's where you have to be open and understand that odds are they're probably saying it to be helpful or to let you know what's going on, that kind of stuff. If someone you care about decides that they just love this shirt and it's the worst looking shirt in the world and they finally ask you what you think, you got to be honest, right? You want to be honest. You don't want to be brutal, but you know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm talking about is it's those people that you respect and that are in a place where you want to be. You listen to those people overall. But odds are, if you've created that circle of 5 or that inner circle, you've cut away the negativity part, right? Now, I see the opposite happening as well, too, where people want to act like fucking fools. And anytime someone says anything about that, they just disassociate themselves, right? So you're hiding from the truth. You're running from the truth. You don't want to do that either as well. Not if you want to improve, not if you want to make yourself better, not if you want to keep moving forward, then you'll have to have the courage to be around the people you want to be, but then you also have to have the stamina to listen to what has to be said, right? Especially if you want to change. If you don't want to change anything and you're happy the way you are, or you don't care enough about yourself to make those changes, or you want to make the excuses that you don't have to, then, you're going to hang out with a different type of people. You're going to have your bar buddies, you're going to have your gym buddies, you're going to have your sport buddies, right? But they'll be superficial and it just won't be the same overall. And they'll feel the same way about you as well, right? So when we're trying to get better, we're trying to improve ourselves and we're trying to be the best that we can be, right? We have to step up our game, and we want to hang out with people that have stepped up their game or who are stepping up their game, and realize that that's a little bit uncomfortable. But that's where we want to be vulnerable, is with those people in that group. So be vulnerable there, listen to what's going on there. But for the rest of the people that are trying to tear you down or knock you off, whatever you're working on, stuff like that, or derail you, you don't listen to those people. That's where you have to get thicker skin. That's where you have to move on for them, and you have to find that better circle of 5. So again, that's just something that I've been wanting to talk about for a little bit, and I think it affects more people than we realize. And sometimes, you'll make a comment, and then someone will come back a couple of weeks ago or a couple of months ago and says, you know what, you said that one thing to me, and it really, really struck home for me. And then you're thinking sometimes, oh, I remember saying that, or I don't remember saying that, but I didn't realize it would have that much of an impact on that person, right? So it's very powerful what we say to people, what's said to us, and what we allow inside our head, right? So again, protect your thoughts. Really, really, go out there and do the best you can to make sure that you keep those thoughts in your mind that are positive ones, that are ones that are there for growth and for improvements, and not let the negative stuff in, because that negative stuff, that'll snowball really quick, because we're used to having those negative thoughts. So that one negative thing could trigger a whole bunch of shit from when you're 4 years old, right? That kind of crazy stuff. So really, we have to be protective and we have to be smart. You don't walk down a back alley in the middle of the night, right? We have that sense about us, right? Or we should. So I think it's the same thing with our thoughts, who we spend our time with, how we spend our time overall. Same thing. Don't go down those back alleys of thoughts, man, because that's where, all the demons lurk for us. And those are the things that are going to spiral out, and we're going to get caught up on that. So again, just wanted to cover on that. Think about your thoughts. Think about who you're hanging out with. And then if you're hanging out with a better crew of people, and your inner five is getting stronger, make sure that you're contributing to that as well. Make sure you're raising your game so that they benefit from being in that circle with you as well, right? You don't want to be a leech. You don't want to be a vampire where you just drain everybody else around you. You need to bring as much to the table. In fact, switch it around. Try to offer more than what you take, so that this way people want to be part of that, and they want you part of their circle as well. And I think that's where it is. Give good value out there. Give good value, create good content, be a good person, stand up when you have to. You don't always have to be the good guy in the group, because sometimes you have to be the bad guy if there's a situation that requires it. But at the end of the day, make it so that those people that you think highly enough of to want to be around think the same as you. And that's all I got to say on that today, guys. Like always, like and review us and give us a positive review on iTunes, please and thank you. If you have any questions, you can reach me, kurthaas@gmail.com, and we'll talk to you guys later.